In this video, I'm making a bath tray out of pallet wood. Thanks for clicking play. Welcome to my bomb shelter basement workshop. Is it worth making your own bath tray? Probably not. They only cost about £16. But I don't like spending money, and I do like making things. So I've got a super simple idea that I want to test out today. I'm going to be using pallet wood because it gets a lot more views on YouTube and it's free. So let's get into it.
I made this one 10 years ago out of scrap wood. It's not terrible, but it's not great either. Ignore the lime scale. I gave it candle holders I never use that fill up with water. There's 2 iPad holders because I messed one of them up. The bottom section is just random pieces of wood, and it slides around and doesn't stay still. So let's learn from that, take some measurements, and get started on the new one.
All these pieces needed to be sanded and prepped now, and you will find out why later in the video. Whilst sanding, I realised that this piece has a split in it, so I'm going to have to change my plans. So I'm going to trim this long piece. I'm going to trim this long piece down to 70 centimeters, and then we'll just see if we've got enough wood as the video goes on.
The 2 big pieces are 6 centimeters tall, the 3 small pieces are 2 centimeters tall, and they're all 70 centimeters wide. I don't know if it's my saw or this wood, but it's left a really horrible furry edge. I really hope that's not going to be a problem later.
Ooh, those small bits were a pain in the arse to sand, but everything needs sanding now because it'll be almost impossible to sand it once everything's together. So, one last thing to do, and then we can start assembling our scrap wood bath tray. Let's go. I'm going to take the 2 big pieces to start off with. The space from the outside is going to be 8 centimeters.
This is the distance from the inside of the bath to the edge of the bath to stop it moving around. To do that, I needed a curve to draw around, and this hole saw was perfect. The hole saw was also perfect for cutting these pieces too. Now all we needed to do is cut straight lines that met up with the curve, and then we've got our main rails. Now it's time to start doing the assembling. This is going to go together in 2 sections, but first I've got to figure out what I'm actually doing and where the measurements and pieces go. It turned out the perfect spacing was 3 coasters thick, and I made these particular coasters from leftover scrap wood on my giant sculptured cock project, and they're still available for sale on my Etsy store, link in the description.
My little bath ladder is now complete, but when it's in the bathroom, it's going to be surrounded by steam and hot water, and I'm not sure if the glue is strong enough to hold this together, so we're going to try a little experiment.
This experiment's not that exciting. I'm just using dowel rods, but I've never really used dowel rods before, and these ones are like 4mm, so they're tiny, and I've got to shove them in and cut them off and see if it works. I'm now going to break the fourth wall and tell you I'm changing the backing music, but I have to narrate it so you don't notice the mix in between. Next we're going to add the middle rail. Now I just have to repeat the process for this section. Everything's all attached. That reminds me of the radiator noise from Mighty Car Mods. Even though they're all attached, there's no side pieces there, so I mean this could potentially break. I don't know, this might be strong enough, but if I put some side pieces in, stop stuff falling out, maybe put one in the middle as a divider. Let's do that, see how it looks. Now that it's finished, it's time to coat it. I'm not going to do anything fancy this time, we're just going to use some clear satin finish.
I just need a little more. Rocking out to Lorna Shore, making that thing swing back and forth. Look at us, we're out of sorts. Thank God we're not keeping score. Losing our mind to cannibal.
There we go. The pallet wood bath tray has been completed, and I don't like it. I think it was a good idea. I think it turned out all right. But now that it's finished, I can see ways that I could have done it a lot better. This was a quick idea. It was an experiment. Not all my projects are going to turn out amazing. This one's turned out okay, but it could have been so much better. So I should have done some tests and measurements because the iPad doesn't really sit that well. It leans too far back and it covers the bottom of the screen. The dividers could have been done better. I feel like there's a better way of putting them together, making them look nicer. The bits along the bottom, like the tiny strips, they could have been much thinner. They all could have been the same size. I could have actually just put notches in the wood so they slotted in perfectly. I should have prepped the wood better. There were some pieces that were still rough around the edges and I should have paid more attention to it. I was definitely cutting corners because I wanted this to be a fast, quick, simple project, and it didn't actually go that smooth and that fast after all. So if you guys have got any suggestions or you've seen videos of projects that could be quick and simple and easy for me to do, I'd appreciate that if you would drop some in the comments or let me know or give me some ideas, because I do want to do more content, but I need them to be quick and fast and easy because there are some big projects in the background. And that's it. So if you've watched this far, thank you very much. Give yourself a pat on the back. If you've got any tips, questions or suggestions, stick them in the comments below. There was a lot of comments after the last chopping board video. Apart from that, I will get some more content out as quick as I can, but I'm going to go enjoy the sun.